So, we are back inside. Here are the stones that we've cut, and I did some more experimenting. We looked inside what could be a meteor. We cut one of my only few pieces of local petrified wood. Now I have some from about 20 miles away on Petrified Forest Road, but this is from right near my house. This is from a hill that I can look down on my house from. And I haven't found any other petrified wood really. Well, maybe 2 or 3 pieces over the years, so it's very rare area, not known for it specifically. And it looks like an old oak branch or something. This thing is awesome. So I opened up the windows. I cut some stones from Grace. Cut one of the jaspers that we found the other day. Petrified forest wood or stone that I thought was petrified wood. It's not. Cleaned up the end on some other stuff. Cut into what I thought might be, I don't know. You know, you have different pictures in books online, but it's river rounded, but it's coming out of serpentine and it's white. And I was trying to figure out if it was magnesite, tabertine, what sort of evaporate white nodule this was, because it's obviously precipitated down through the serpentine, gathered up whatever it is, and then formed these nodules have grown. And you can see the pattern still filling in, so I feel like it's accurate to say that they have grown both from the nodule shape and the shape of it filling in from the sides, kind of like an agate would to the very center. So it was probably a void, and it's just now closing up, and then fell out of the cliff. Cut some of the agate slash chalcedony nodules, and another one of these, it's a compressed volcanic ash, so you could call it a rhyolite or a banded tuff, or whatever you would like. And then what we're also going to go over is I'm going to show you, I used a lighter, a file, some sandpaper, and a piece of wax to do a really quick shine up on your stuff. If you don't have a sander, time to do the sanding and the buffing and the polishing, or you just want a quick result so you can shoot a video and show people what it would look like with some gloss. So I also have oil and an old sock. So these are the tools, and you can do this indoors at night with everybody resting and relaxing and not be using an orbital sander. You know, it's just another way of doing it. So started some possible cab projects. So let me get some water so we can dip these and look at them, and then we'll go through it, and I'll show you the waxing and all that type of stuff too. Actually, well, I'll show you that in a second. showing you how to oil and wax up your stones and make things like this quickly indoors with just a lighter, a piece of wax, old sock, and some oil. And now we're going to go through the rest of the rocks that you saw me cut in the first video. Starting with this one, take a look at it. It's already been sanded, waxed. Like I say, be sure to check that process out. This, I saw all of the quartz druzy growth on the outside here and thought it might be interesting, so we wanted to cut it open, and it was silicon. And the druzy, the quartz, which is silicon, basically replaced all of the low grain, and the high grain is the black lines. So that's how it looked. I wanted to look inside. That's what it looks like. It's very rough, even with wetted or oil. It's just not that impressive, but now we know. So there's that specimen. That's a petrified forest road specimen. This tricked us. So this looked like petrified wood to me. I think it's actually a bedded ash, meaning volcanic ash that fell and was compressed into a rock. And it's got holes and almost nice looking swirls to it. Swirled its grains around. But I do not believe that to be petrified wood. I think that we got faked out. And a lot of our petrified wood in the area is actually made not through time, but by the volcanic ash falling on entire forests. Right here, we'll go ahead and dip this one in water, is one of our chalcedony nodules. And it's from our polishing load. I think if you've seen those videos you might recognize it. It was real fractured up, and I wanted to slab it in half, see if we can get any more patterning out of it. We did. There's little faint water lines of dots, inclusions in there, and a nice saw mark still running across that one. And this one I was just experimenting with shape. We might toss it back in the tumbler, but it has fine little inclusion dots, and I was just practicing back dragging and squaring stuff up and using the push stick and trying not to hurt myself and all that, just practicing up. So you see the water lines in that one. They're faint, but they're there. And we'll probably toss those back in a tumbler or polish just the face of that one down. And just seeing what was inside. Same idea as this one, which came out of the same load. And I wasn't totally in love with it as a whole stone. So I sliced it in half to see what the grain would look like, and this is just dipped in water now. But I was happy with the results because there's nice ghostings of water lines in there, the nice crystal patch from the center of the cavity, and then the green that was coming through there with a little bit of, you know, mini agatization swirls along the edge. This is the other half of it. So I set this one up to be polished down or cabbed out, was my idea, to be a cabochon. So we have a little inclusion of the green stuff, little agate water line around it, the crystal patch. You can see there's actually a little orbital pattern in there, and then that on the back, which is already polished and rounded. So just going with the basic hexagon on that and trying to work with the stone that we had. And yeah, could turn out pretty cool, but that's what happened to that stone. To this piece of petrified wood is petrified forest road. Go ahead and get it wet. And it was breaking it was breaking on me as I was cutting it, so I went with the slanted cuts on here. You can see these are part of our wasted. This was also the push stick that I was using as I re-wetted. I haven't waxed this one yet. I probably will. And it's just going to be a display. Instead of just having all the pieces rough, this will be sitting there next to the other pieces so that it's a chance to look inside. It's more of a specimen. And I made it triangle so it's like a little power stone too. That's actually what that tattoo means, is tree in Noldor, in Elven language from J.R.R. Tolkien's books, Lord of the Rings. It's a Noldor rune for a tree. So I very much like trees. I have several tree tattoos. Here is a fire agate, and I went ahead and put some mineral oil on here. And there are your water lines. That's what makes this a fire agate, is that it's translucent, it's got fire colors, it's got banding, water lines, plumage, everything that it takes to be an agate and to be a fire agate. And Grace sent me the biggest box of these that you have ever seen, of all kinds of stones. So we're just getting started on a parade of fire agates before your eyes. Here's the stone that it came off of. I chose this one because I like it as a specimen already. It's nice and swirly on that side. Same thing, we'll put some mineral oil on here. Liven up the show. Go ahead and go all around there again. Mineral oil is the only thing that most opals can be. These are agates, but most opals have to be kept in fire, or have to be kept in mineral oil all their lives, or they will fracture, because mineral oil helps keep them hydrated. They have water in them, which continues to dry out. But it helps all stones. Look at the little cave in there, frosted with like blue. And then look at the color. Another little crystal cave. And that slab, wow, it's like a puff of cloud coming by, huh? Wow, that really brings us down to the last two stones here. So this is the start of a piece of jewelry. What it looked like before and after. You could see that in the first video, first part of this. And you can see I cut about halfway down so I could reveal the swirls, but then I left all of the bubbles on that end because I really like how they look like molten sap or glass. It's really enjoying that. I went for just a real rough little hexagon shape with elongated sides. I guess you could call that a cushion cut, a flat cushion cut. And we could round that, we could throw it back in the tumbler and see how it polishes out. It gave us great windows. I'll go ahead and put the oil on it now. And move my dirty sock out of here. Last but not least, this is a stone found separate from the other black stones, but still featured in that video. It's heavy, slightly magnetic, and that's where I put a little window into it before, trying to see, but couldn't see much. I was wondering if it was a meteor or what it was, so went ahead and cut it. I polished down this side, and that's what it looks like. That's what the unpolished side looks like. So just not sure. The weight of it though, with metal stripes in it, little bits of rust. Just don't know. But that's the first one of my could-be's for sure that I've ever sliced open. Okay. Okay, and with that, I hope that you enjoyed that little two-part rock cutting experiment there with me. Definitely got a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of ideas now brewing around in my head, seeing what materials I have, what they turn into, what they can be made into, how to go through all the specimens I have and pretty them up and make them more presentable, starting jewelry pieces and fun stuff, and tried to share some tricks of the trade with how to make things pretty in an easier way. And yeah, be sure to check out the rockhounding video where I find that and those, all kinds of stuff. Okay, hope everybody's doing okay. Thanks for joining me on the quest for details. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell notification so that you can be notified. You'll get a notification every time that we put out a video, and you can decide if you want to watch it or not. That way you won't miss anything. We'll see you next time. Quest on.